So this is where we were, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is the 210 trolley bus, and it stopped outside the main gates. People got on and off there. It was very handy for us because it was only about 15-minute drive if we actually managed to get on the bus at that time. Very quiet, that bus, actually. I don't know why they got rid of the trolley buses. They were very silent. Anyway, the point is this: it's surrounded by, must have been about a 12-foot perimeter wall. But as kids, you see, what we used to do was go round the back. It's a secret, this, so don't tell everybody, okay? Round the back, climb over the back, skirt round, and right into the main arena. Got our collars felt once or twice, but no big deal. Anyway, as I say, don't tell anybody that, really, that is a secret. So that's the front part of it, of Belle Vue. Now, as we go along, if you like, what I'd like to do is go through the main gate, and this is from my memory, as I remember it. You know, it's not actually an up-to-date thought, it's my particular thought on this, my memories, and my memories are your memories. Those people that have been to Belle Vue will know that and understand that. And so as we go into Belle Vue proper, into it, through the gates, there are the bobs again. And here is an elephant coming out with this rather tall Indian gentleman with his turban on. He used to walk around with the kids on there on a ride, on a good summer day. And you got various things like that. The clowns would come out. There were rifle ranges, all sorts of things going on. As you would get at a fairground, for instance, that type of thing. Very well known for that. The elephant went on for a long, long time before it died, unfortunately. I don't know what happened to the Indian gentleman, but he was there for years and years and years. And so we used to walk around there. There are various things that were happening at Belle Vue. Like, for instance, there was the Elizabethan ballroom, where they like sort of dancing, ballroom dancing, that sort of thing. And world class, by the way, not rubbish. And there was the King's Hall. That was where they used to have boxing and wrestling. And the wrestling was something on Saturday night, people like Giant Haystacks, Big Daddy, Mick McManus. Mick McManus always won, right? And I remember this because I never actually went to the wrestling, went to the boxing, but not the wrestling. But if you watched Mick McManus, and it was televised at that time, and you were sort of wrestling him, you knew you were going to lose because he was the big name, and it wasn't fixed. No, not at all. Not at all, it wasn't fixed, but Mick McManus always won. And that was something that was happening there at Belle Vue, very well known. They had the botanical gardens, beautiful fauna coming from all over the world, you know, various places. And in the middle of Manchester, the very first industrialised city on earth, had got this beautiful oasis in the middle of it. And as kids, as anybody, you come from all over the place to go in there. We had to get in, even if we climbed in when we were getting in there. It was the most beautiful place. As I say, an oasis. And there were various things that were going on. There was even, there was a flea circus. Would you believe real fleas that actually lived on human beings, yeah? And they were man and wife that used to run it. As far as I remember, anyway, this is the way it was. And if it's not quite right, please correct me, let me know. This is from my memory, remember, of it all at that time as a child. And they would put these fleas in this jar, and they would let them out. And the fleas would do acrobats. They would put them on a little tricycle, and the flea would, they would glue these little swords to the backs, and they would have sword fights. Like, you know, it was going big crazy. This is a true thing that was going on. And I, later on in life, I got to know a working jeweller who knew somebody who made those little tricycles and little carriages for these fleas out of silver wire. So that was another story, but that's true. There was the Wall of Death. The Wall of Death was like a huge, like a vat, really, wooden vat, and it was about 20 foot high and probably about 20 foot in diameter. And you'd climb up the side of this and look over the edge. And these, I think it was about two cyclists would come along, and they go up a ramp and they go round and round and round. And the faster they go inside, the more they adhered to the side, inside of this circular tank, so to speak. Very loud, very dangerous. As far as I know, nobody ever came off it. And that was another thing that was going on. That was fantastic. The animals, there were hippopotamus, lions, tigers, chimpanzees, giraffes. The giraffes are beautiful. But I'll tell you one thing about the giraffe house, okay? You go in the giraffe house, and those of you that have been there will know this, okay? You went in the giraffe house, and the stink was incredible. You go in, and they want your sandwiches, you see, the giraffes would lean over, and if you've got a sandwich to give them, they'd take it. And they allowed you to do that. But the smell was horrible. You had to go in quickly and walk out the other side. It was that bad. And those of you that know that will remember that. It was quite an event to go on. There was a hippopotamus there. There were two hippopotamus, I'm not quite sure, there at the time. And I believe it might have been mother and son. And it was a mother that died. They discovered it. I'm sure this is correct, but again, if it's not quite, so let me know. My memory of it is that the mother died, but it was killed by the son in an argument. It seems the tusk of the son had driven through the mother's skull and pierced its brain and killed it. And they preserved the brain, etc. But the skull, I beg your pardon. But that's my memory of that. So they ended up with one hippopotamus in the end. Oh yes, the circus. You've got to mention the circus. The lion tamers, the clowns. Jacko was the clown. He was there for about 12, 13 years or something like that, as far as I can remember. Went on forever. And it was, yes, the most extremely good day out. It was a full, you went in the morning, 10 o'clock it opened up, and you didn't leave till 10:30 at night when they threw you out. Fantastic day. And yes, that was it about Belle Vue, and that was the reason why I just had to, people write about these things, don't they? But me, I sort of tend to paint them because that's what I do. And so I thought, yes, I'll do an entrance into Belle Vue, and I'll do an event where it's happening, everything's happening inside. You can see things going on. I'm not finished with it yet. I will be doing other paintings of Belle Vue itself, but there are other things I'd like to talk to you about later on, not today, nostalgically. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today, and I'll speak to you again later on. All the best. Bye for now. Bye.